Okay, let me ask you this. Why are we suddenly seeing spin-offs and reboots of 90s sitcoms that nobody asked for? I mean, I love nostalgia as much as the next person, but when I saw Martin Lawrence teasing the Varnell Hill Show, my first thought was, wait, Varnell was a side character. A whole series. Really? But here's the thing, the more I dig into this, the more I realize this isn't just about reviving a cult favorite. It's about something much bigger. Let's unpack this. So, if you're not familiar with Martin, the 90s classic, you've probably still heard catchphrases like "you go, girl" or "talk to the hand." That show wasn't just funny, it was a cultural blueprint for black TV. It had this chaotic, over-the-top energy that felt revolutionary at the time. And Varnell? He was the smug, flashy foil to Martin's everyman charm. But here's what's fascinating, Varnell wasn't even the main villain or rival. He was more like a mirror, showing what Martin could have become if he'd sold out. And now, 30 years later, they're giving him his own show? That's either genius or a desperate cash grab. Let's break it down. The premise is Varnell struggling to stay relevant in today's hyperwoke, algorithm-driven entertainment world. On the surface, that feels like low-hanging fruit for satire. But think deeper. This isn't just about a washed-up host clinging to fame. It's a meta-commentary on the entire industry. Let's be real, Hollywood's obsessed with nostalgia right now. They're rebooting everything from The Fresh Prince to The Cosby Show, though that one's complicated. But by making Varnell the anti-hero here, are they accidentally roasting themselves? Because here's the irony. The same execs greenlighting this spin-off are probably the ones pushing to modernize it with TikTok trends and diversity checklists. And Varnell's ego versus the network's demands? That's the real drama. I'd watch that over a Saved by the Bell reboot any day. Now, let's talk casting. Tommy Davidson's coming back, which is great, his physical comedy was underrated. And Martin Lawrence is popping in as a guest star, which makes sense. Why commit full-time when you can cameo and still cash the checks? But here's what bugs me, why Varnell? Out of all the Martin characters, he was the least lovable. He was selfish, insecure, and always scheming. But maybe that's the point. In 2026, we're obsessed with anti-heroes. We root for Tony Soprano, Walter White, and now Varnell Hill. It's a smart pivot. Back in the 90s, he was just a punchline. Today, his flaws make him complex. If nothing else, this shows a time capsule of how our tastes have evolved. But here's the bigger question this raises. Can a character born in the era of beepers and baggy jeans survive in the age of AI and influencer culture? The original Martin show was groundbreaking because it amplified black voices without pandering. It was messy, loud, and unapologetically unfiltered. Today's TV landscape is hypersensitive, every joke's a potential landmine. So how does the Varnell Hill show balance the raunchy, irreverent humor of the 90s with modern sensibilities? My guess? It'll either be a train wreck or the most self-aware satire of Hollywood's nostalgia addiction. Either way, it's gonna be entertaining. Look, I'll admit I'm conflicted. On one hand, I don't want TV to become a retirement home for characters past their prime. On the other, I'm curious to see how they'll weaponize Varnell's flaws in this new era. Maybe this is the reboot we need, not because we asked for it, but because it forces us to confront how much or how little the industry has changed. So here's my challenge to you. When the Varnell Hill show drops, don't just laugh at the retro jokes. Pay attention to the subtext. Because in every jab Varnell takes at the kids these days, there's a reflection of our own nostalgia blind spots. What do you think, will this be a legacy killer, or the unexpected gem of 2026? Drop your takes below.